In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different.
The actual origin itself, so Susan's my wife, and she started, she worked at Waste Whip. She left Waste Whip, and while she was kind of like figuring out what she was going to do, people would still call her saying, hey, what should I do here? What should I do there? And then so she started doing that, and then from there she started like doing more of a manufacturer's rep, because she was helping people, get the equipment that they needed, and they really trusted her knowledge. She went ahead and hooked up with a local manufacturer here, and then she started selling for them. And then after a while, she had grown them, like they were doing like 750,000 revenue. They went up to 3-4 million in revenue. They didn't want to grow. So George, who's also our partner, he was working over there, and he told Susan, he said, Susan, we can do this ourselves. Susan came to me, and I said, well, yeah, right now everything, your salary's capped because they're not gonna grow, and you're working on commission, your salary's capped.
Sure.
So they both came to me, and they said, hey, we think this is a good idea, and I said, okay, let's do it. So that was I want to say that was like late August of 15. Because we like to do everything on the open, we went to that other company and we said, hey, we would like to go ahead and buy you. Because if not, we're gonna start something else. They hem-hawed, they said yeah, then they said no. It was two brothers, and then they ended up saying they wanted like a ridiculous amount. And we said, okay, we're gonna start, just to let you know, we're gonna start it. So we went ahead and started. We got a lease, and on November 15th of 2015, we actually opened Box Gang.
In that location?
And that was on 4101 Airline.
Okay.
So there was, we just had the keys. No welding, we had no press brakes, no shears.
I don't know. A lot of times you go somewhere and it's like you got this white collar guy, just kind of corporate feel, and it's like, okay, well, I like doing business with people that I trust, kind of like you said on the handshake sometimes. But yeah, no, the story is most important.
And we tell them, we have a potential client. He called yesterday. He had been in the business for. He sold his last company 15 years ago, and he's getting back in the business. And then so we started talking about roll-offs. He wanted like a double hook, and started talking about, hey, I want a 15-yard. And I'm like, well, if I give you a 15-yard on a 22-footer, the walls are going to be short. Yeah. And then he's like, what length do you recommend? And then I go, what hoist do you have? He started talking about like the different things, and he was being nitpicky about the tarp, and he didn't want the hook to go ahead and get caught on the tarp. And, we walk them through all the other products that are out there, like the tarping systems, the hoist, everything. He's actually buying his trucks next week. When he hung up, he said, because we were doing everything through email, and we know him. And he goes, hey, thanks for calling. He goes, you clarified a lot of things, so now I'm going to be asking all these other questions from the truck and the hoist dealers before I pull the plug. So my sense is that he'll come back and he'll buy the boxes from us. I told him, I said, we want to build what you want. I'm not going to build something and give it to you, because to me, it doesn't make any sense. Whether you want something a certain way, I'm not the one using it, you are. I'm just going to tell you, I say, hey, this is what's going to take us to do it. And if you say yes, we do business.
Right.
We figured out that, if you treat them decent, acting on good faith, they all tend to come back because they know that you're fair.
And quality.
And the
quality, I feel like that's one thing we've strived to do, is offer, a little bit more bang for your buck when you buy, one of our boxes. We try and give you, a little bit more longevity, reduce the repairs. That's been kind of our motto from the beginning.
Sure.
The very first box we made, and it was a watertight. That was the first box. But this is Donald's office.
So have you seen
Raphael's? We do have a fully secured
putting burning electric vehicles in them and stuff?
We have that too.
Do you?
We have the cameras.
Susan, he was asking about the box for the EVs that we've made.
There's none here, but our local fire department does have some.
Really?
And yeah, I don't know if he we'd be able to schedule anything to get in there today.
No, no worries. I was just
You
curious
can
about
video
it. 'Cause I seen them online, but I didn't know that, first of all, I didn't know you guys were the ones that did them. I figured that's like a new market,
Very
right?
up and coming.
Yeah.
And we do now have them on our Sourcewell contract as well.
Nice.
So that's something that we've got to do some more advertising on.
That's
for-
interesting. How did you guys, I mean, it's basically just a larger scale watertight box, basically?
Yeah, and it's basically got the ability to winch the car inside the box and then
Gotcha.
fully contain it, and then they've got to basically water it down,
Interesting.
for a week. It just depends on, how long it takes and how long it smolders. But
Sure.
it's a huge issue
That's crazy.
right now with EVs. And then the batteries, those batteries, nobody realizes they're $27,000 to get a new battery, and then what do you do with it? At the end of its life, most states don't have a good policy in place for
Disposing?
recycling the batteries.
Yeah. So I saw one where in China where they actually like, it's almost, they have a system where it's almost like getting an oil change. You go in and they can actually literally change out your battery while you sit there and wait. Within like 15, 20 minutes, they remove the battery and put in a new one. And that's how you, instead of having charging systems, they just you just go in there and charge or whatever.
I'm
So
like,
this is George's area.
she was
Myra's our
arrested.
HR.
Oh, okay.
yeah, she wouldn't even get in the car when we got her.
And then
Super sweet.
Annie.
Javier's over here. That's the
Guess the lights
production.
are on in here. Myra's been with us from the beginning. This is kind of funny. This was taken one of our first pictures when we first started. Myra's first day was here.
Nice.
Checking her out. They're married now with 2 box gang babies.
No way.
Yeah. And then her second child was actually born on our anniversary.
Oh, wow.
The majority are actually still with us. There's only a few that aren't. So
That's awesome.
that's why
That
we're
means a
just
lot.
so grateful for our employees, and we wouldn't be here without them. It's nice to have that
No, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it means a lot.
support because it's important.
Property's kind of a little cut up only because this used to be one big property. Schlumberger was next door, and then when they had kind of split it off, ours goes directly back to where that flag is on the water tower back there.
Okay. Wow.
And everything that you see here is, if it's here, it's sold. One other thing that we do, we work with startup companies here to give them if they need a spot to be able to store some equipment before they have a lot.
Nice.
We'll work with them to be able to give them that space so, it's easier for them to get in business.
Nice.
Eventually they'll, grow into it and get their own.
Well, I saw this little spot right here on Trash Man's videos.
Yeah, this is our shipping and receiving. And when we moved in, we were like, this is just a big, long, white, building. So we had a graffiti, artist come in. So she did the graffiti. She's from Dallas. Right when we moved in, probably need a little touch up at this point. But,
Yeah,
we
nice.
tried to incorporate some different things. The year we were established, being a veteran, in business, we have like the U.S. flag. We tried to incorporate, we're a diverse company. We are, I don't know if I told you this, a certified minority-owned business
Okay.
nationally and through the city of Houston. We're also a service-disabled veteran-owned business,
Gotcha.
as well as a hub here in Houston as well. So those certifications are something that are unique. We're, I think, the only one in the industry that has them.
Nice.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be more, right? But
Right. And that I'm sure that helps with the government contracts and stuff like that too, right? To give you a little bit of
it does.
extra points and
Yeah,
stuff.
it does. And then it also does help companies that, haulers that buy from us. If they're bidding on a contract, usually they'll have a set aside, or you get a few more points for just purchasing the containers, or any products or services.
Gotcha.
You get certain points for that too when you're
Interesting.
completing a bid. We'll just go in here. We'll start here first if
Okay.
that's okay. Good morning. This is Estella, Javier, and Antonio.
Hello.
So Estella is our shipping and receiving manager, and Antonio he's one of our originals, so he's been with us from the beginning. So he also oversees back here. And then Javier, he would be, I guess your official title would be assistant plant manager. Yeah. So, but he also got an engineering background too. So
Very good.
he and George work closely together, and George is our partner.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, so whenever we have an order that comes in, it gets placed on the board. It's usually generated as an estimate unless we have someone that has like something that's custom or requires a 50% down, then we convert it to an invoice. But all the orders will usually go right on the board. When we are going to ship, bill of lading is done, a unique serial number is always assigned, and this is how Estella stays organized with everything going in and out and managing our backlog, which is all done by this team
Nice.
in here.
And you keep track of every single serial number, every single
Yep.
who bought what? And
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, we have everything saved. And then it goes on to the actual order as well. Every bill of lading, we take pictures when we're shipping containers. Even before they're loaded, we take pictures so that we will supply them to a customer so they can have a visual, just in case they're not local, so they can see what's what. So we can just cut through here if that's okay.
Okay.
We'll need our ears on. So as I mentioned earlier, everything, they're on break, which is kind of nice. But everything you see here is going to be sold. So when we get an order that comes in, all of the steel is ordered. Then it comes into this building. We try to store as much of the material inside as possible because, being outside, it starts to rust right away. But we have all of our brakes over along the wall, and then our shears are on this side and saw along the back.
Nice.
We do have a lot of our material already laser cut. Did we get the plasma cutter yet?
I don't think it's going to yet.
So we do have one of those on order, and we're going to be doing it all in-house here as well.
Like
Otherwise, our
cutting them?
steel supplier's been doing that,
Okay.
having that all cut, and then they deliver it.
So almost all pre-cut and you just kind of just
A lot of it
together.
is, but here we do. Back there are the 3 brakes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then these are the shears. So this will do all the cutting, those will do all the bending.
Nice.
And then there's a saw along the back for smaller material as well. So, and then we'll label it, like you can see that right there, it says 4 yard 30. So that's all just coded for where it's gonna go. Everything like right here, this is a 4 yard rear load.
Gotcha. So this is
just where we do all the prep work.
okay. Prep
This
work.
is just where we store material before it gets cut and bent. And then from here is where it moves to the next building, whether it's going to our large container line or our small container line.
Gotcha.
So we'll go into those next.
And how do you account for like the real fluctuating market or the steel market and stuff like that? Like, is it just like a day by day kind of pricing, or I mean, how do you? Because I know the steel pricing goes up and down like gold prices, don't they? Or like
Yeah,
silver?
and it can fluctuate. So, and Raphael and George will probably be the best ones to answer that. I
Gotcha.
don't do any of the steel side. I'm more of the sales and marketing side.
Gotcha.
But yes, it does fluctuate. And when things get a little bit crazy, and volatile, we've had it where we've had, multiple increases, when we're buying in one day. So we'll have to, sometimes just, wait to acknowledge the order until, we confirm that up. So most manufacturers nowadays have on their quotes that all pricing must be confirmed, at the time of order, just because of that volatility. And then what was going on with tariffs,
Right.
that was another issue.
Right. Is that affecting you guys as well then?
There were some things that we were affected by. I think, pretty much most everything we get, is from the U.S. So for us, really, it wasn't affecting us as much. But yeah, there were some things. So basically, when everything is cut and bent, from there it gets staged in here. And we've got it organized where we know we're going to be able to pull, here's this order, we're going to pull it all together, and this is where we do the final assembly.
Okay.
But we also do build in here. If you see the start of a floor, they're built upside down.
Oh, okay. I got it.
And we've got, tools, that measures everything that we put in. But this is basically the bottom of a floor. They haven't yet added the main rails, but this is all cross members, you know, tie everything together. We're building some different
typical,
things
like-
in here right now.
Is this your typical floor then for like a 20?
Yeah, these look like they're 12 inches on
Yeah,
center.
looks a little
And usually
heavy
our
duty, right?
floors have the C channel facing out. We're doing a lot of custom stuff
Got
right
it.
now.
Gotcha.
This is not one of our common boxes, but I'll show you one of them. Usually the C channel, which is this part right here, some of this might be hot, so I'm avoiding touching it. Usually that faces out. And we refer to that in the industry as different things, but typically I've always referred to it as a rub rail. It's super important that these cross members tie into a C-channel rub rail. That actually holds the whole box together.
Okay.
Structurally, you know, doors sagging, your sidewalls, you know, moving. This floor is what holds it all together. So you'll go to other markets, especially you go to Florida, and you'll see they do not put a C-channel rub rail down the side. It's open and exposed.
Yep.
And I think we might have some of those boxes here for you to see. Typically the spacing for us for our cross members is 18 inches on center. This to me looks like it's about a 12.
Right.
And then we gusset every one, and then we'll put the main rails on. But this is a special box.
I thought one of the main reasons they leave it open is just so they can transport them a lot easier with forklifts and stuff like that. And I guess that's not.
You really don't want that.
Okay.
Because it's, like I said, structurally, if this is tied, these are all tied into the C channel.
Right.
You could still get under it.
Yeah.
And you could still move them, but yeah, you really need that structurally. We also do a one-piece floor. If you see our material, everything is one piece when we build a floor. That's very uncommon. But here, yeah, this you can see it's a one-piece floor. We build these for oil field service companies, so they're, again, a custom box.
Totally
We're
custom,
doing a lot of custom right now.
Yeah. It's good to see that you guys do obviously custom too. I mean, what percentage would you say custom versus just your basic regular waste containers?
Well, the custom can vary from just like customizing a little bit for what a customer wants, but these are really a true
Super custom.
custom box.
What did you say
I
this
would
was for again? The
Oil
company?
field services, yeah. This one is definitely a unique box.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
see.
yeah.
It's what they need, what
Sure.
they require, and they are a watertight, kind of almost like a pool. When you look at the inside, there is no door.
Okay.
It's just they use them to collect the material, and they must pump them off. I have not been to this particular customer's job site since they're not someone I typically work with,
Sure.
but I do know what they
Okay.
do, and the application that they do it is they want a fully sealed box. But we build all of the doors over here typically, so we'll build them. So basically what happens is we do the floors, we do the doors, and then the sides are already bent in that first building that I showed you, and then all of the material is cut, and this is where we just put everything, the final assembly together, and this is where the magic happens.
This is your main production line right here.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Right now you really can't see this probably because it's in use, but that right there, everything will roll right out through that door, and that's where we prime and paint for our roll-off line.
The paint booth is.
Yeah,
back
we'll
here.
go back here and stop by the paint booth over here.
And then we have another one back here.
So, okay, compactors. Do you guys build the boxes? Do you guys have like you guys build the actual compact, or have a connection for the compactors in too to sell the entire unit, or how does that work if somebody wanted a compactor?
We do build the boxes. We also do sell the compactors. So we actually sell ICC, which is their Interpack line, Marathon equipment, which is a very large, and they've got a lot of different variety of product lines that they have to offer. We'll go left. And then we also have Seabright.
Okay.
And Seabright does a lot of specialty equipment, transfer station compactors. They also do stainless steel. So they've got
Really?
oil filter recycling. So we actually sell a lot of different product lines. You can see this is right where they're doing the water testing, and they pump the water in and out.
Oh, okay.
But this is our paint booth. Right now we're doing some repairs. As you can see, this is a box that you're welcome to go in there.
Somebody wants you guys to just like rehab some old ones. And
Correct. We've done some repairs. As you can see, the front bottom section here. They'll tell us what they want to put in there.
How much you want, yeah.
Yeah, how much money do you want to really put in it? it may need sometimes a new floor, just some different patch repairs. They might not want to put a whole lot into it, but after they're done, then they do want it freshened up with the prime and paint. And so when we get that new laser machine in, it's going to be so slick. It's just, you run it across, it just, everything falls off. So for something like this, it would make this box look even better.
So is it really that fast? Like just like kind of like passing a spray, like almost the same speed as spraying it is just when the laser goes by it?
So this is the newer of the two paint booths. I don't think the other one will probably want to walk in.
Okay.
But this one's still, you know, like we redid the door on this one.
So 2 paint booths?
We have 2.
Okay.
We do use an enamel-based paint, and it's like a fast dry enamel-based paint.
Like a single stage kind of, just one?
We've been doing it's a 2-stage, but you'll do one, and then right after it's a fast dry, quick dry, and then we'll do the second coat right after. But we don't use a water-based paint. Here you can see we do water test, you know, almost to the top. Can't really go too much further. But there he's just pumping the rest out.
So basically fill it up, make sure there's no leaks, and then pump the water out onto the next one.
And we pump it out, like go back and forth between the boxes to make sure, you know, we're able, and then we can store the water when it's not in use, so we're not, you know, going through a lot of water when we're doing it.
Sure.
It's like filling a pool.
Yeah. I'm sure it's costly over time.
Yeah, so we do build, like I said, different watertight containers. This one's our standard. And you can see, remember how I was talking about that rub rail, the C-channel?
Yep.
This is how the C-channel usually should look. And then underneath, that's where all the cross members are welded to it, and every single one is fully gusseted.
Got it.
We also do heavier uprights, and then we put a 1/2-inch push plate on there. We do a heavier bull nose, but we tie it all the way into the actual floor. We actually frame in this whole front area when if we were to lift this box and really look at it. And what that does is it just makes it stronger, because that's where all the force and all the, you know, action's happening on these boxes. So you definitely want it to be framed in, be fully welded, you know, so it's stronger.
And this like super extra supported because this is a water box?
No, we build all of our boxes
all of them just like this. Okay, so this thickness right here is always. So what's your typical gauge like on the floor and the walls then?
Well, typical gauge, the standard is about 3/16, and we do use, I said, a 1-piece. This one's got a 1/4-inch floor for the watertights. Again, it's 1 piece. We usually do a 4x6 nose roller, and this is for a standard box. It will vary when you get into the smaller trucks and the smaller hoists. We always, on the watertights, we do a front and rear ground roller, and we use an 8x10. We also, and you're going to see with our ladder, these are cracks, sorry. We put a little sticker on there because, you know, they just get ripped off if you make them too long. Stick out too far. So that's why we put that hook rack on there. So this has got the watertight doors. There's 2 that go on the bottom, 1 on each side, you know, the ratchet finders. And sometimes we'll have a drain on the door. It just depends on what the customer wants. Sometimes they don't want it at all. They don't want a drain. So in this particular one, you can.
I was gonna say, it's just empty? Okay.
Yeah, it's all, this is unfinished. We haven't cleaned it up yet. It hasn't been primed or painted.
It's super heavy duty though.
And then we do have the vertical side supports on each side of the box. Some customers want them on, some don't. I do feel they add strength to the box, you know, structurally, but we have a lot of customers that don't want them put on, and they're not.
I think what's the reason? Not just because these wouldn't be stackable then, right? With those on them?
They're never going to be stackable with the wheels.
Okay.
Yeah, these watertights are not. Should never be stacked.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then we do a skeleton key holder for the chain.
Yep.
To keep the door in the open position. We also do fully weld the interior of every single one of our boxes, which is unique. Most manufacturers stitch weld them.
I gotcha.
on the inside. So this one is an extra heavy duty 40-yard receiver box. I think this one might have some special teeth on the opening.
This is huge.
Yeah, this one's going on a pre-crusher. So you can see these.
Oh, okay.
These actually all are hinged. And what they do is when the compactor and the ram you load it, the ram is moving forward. The material, when it goes in, these help it go in, but prevent it from coming out.
Yeah.
So it reduces the driver's spillage, saves them time, money, a lot of headaches. Drivers absolutely love these. So if you've got a customer that has issues with the compactor and spillage, that's the way to go.
So normally, I've never done a compactor because I only have hook lifts. So normally there's just open space, right? There's just nothing there.
Usually they're just open without this.
I got you.
Yeah, and this opening can vary depending upon the actual compactor that you're building it for. Like
David,
that's
you wanna
a
jump in?
standard one right there.
Yeah, it's huge in there. It's bigger than my first house, my first apartment.
Bigger than that? Yeah, me too. But this would be a standard opening
yeah.
without them. So those are just an option. So this is also our property. Thought it was great when we bought it. It goes only about halfway. We've got a rail spur in between us.
Okay.
So we could bring in steel if we wanted to.
Gotcha.
And we've talked about that potentially in the future. But half of this building is ours. The other half on the other side is our
The other
neighbors.
How many people do you guys employ basically? I mean, I see people everywhere.
It fluctuates a little bit, but around 70
Okay.
full-time people in the shop.
Nice.
This box to your right, the black box right there,
Uh-huh.
that actually is 30 feet long.
The scrap box?
Yeah, that's
looks like scrap.
we built that for our scrap company.
Nice. One thing I don't really know is, like, what's the relationship with Grimaldi? Like you guys say, or, you know, Box Gang powered by Grimaldi or something like that sometimes. Are they
we've been working with them since just before COVID.
Okay.
And we've been working with having a hook lift as well as the grapple mounted to the Rolloff. We wanted them to have all U.S. parts and fittings. So that's one thing that we've been working with for quite some time.
Okay.
But yeah, they do smaller hook hoists, they do larger hook hoists, compactors, containers, you name it. They're one of the largest manufacturers in Brazil.
So they manufacture the hooks and then you guys sell
Bring them
for
through
them
the
here?
port, and then
Okay.
we'll mount and do everything here.
Got it. Okay.
So this is our small container line. We're doing side loaders right now, so these are probably going to West Texas.
Okay.
Are you familiar with those?
No.
They're kind of like a front loader, but they require a different
Forks or something?
attachment
Gotcha.
to be able to lift them, and they are a side loader. Just as it's kind of really simple.
West Texas side loader.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there
Really?
in the West Texas. But our other paint booth is right here to the right.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
So
see it.
what's nice is we don't have to go out into the elements to do our paint.
Sure.
Because, you know, especially when we're mounting hoists, which we would do on that side,
Right.
you can just drive right in and then you're able to drive right out on the other side. So, you know, it's just easier for movement. These are the things that we've been really working on. These are a little bit more, what I would say, custom for our small container line. They're not our front loads, which we just got done doing some pretty big runs, but they're doing some on this side.
Yep. Okay. So this is that same setup you're talking about, the
Yeah.
West Texas right here, right?
Yes, correct. So we had a big order from the city of Lubbock, which is most of what this is filling for.
Nice. Nice weld though.
And one thing that Susan may have said it, but one thing that we do on all our containers is continuously weld the floors inside the box.
Even
Whether
your roll-offs, everything?
Everything.
Very nice. And I'm sure you guys can knock a lot of these out probably in a given day if we needed to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming to the end of the order for the city of Lubbock, which, like I said, was a pretty substantial order.
And do you guys do your own shipping for the most, like locally as well, or do you guys?
So
always
most
have
of our
partners?
local customers they come pick it up.
Pick them up.
So that's one thing that local folks, you know, they appreciate the fact that we are local and they just come pick up their boxes. Waste Pro's currently doing a rollout. They're coming to Houston fresh, and this is their can. So they've been just coming and putting cans out as they as they need them.
Okay.
So and the smaller haulers too, sometimes we'll build the cans, keep them here until they're ready for them.
Gotcha.
And then they just come get them as they need them, whether it's, you know,
They just have someone on
roll-off,
standby or, yeah, when they need them. Texas Pride Disposal.
They were, they've been a good partner to us for a long time.
Nice.
One thing that we do, I don't know if Susan mentioned it or not, but we will decal everything for them, so when they're ready, they just come pick them up and they're ready to go.
That's super convenient.
Yeah, take them straight to the job site.
Yep.
Stuff back here that's here for repairs.
Gotcha.
Usually when we have a truck come in to get loaded, they take the path that we're taking now. They come in this way, they'll go this way, and then we'll load them over here.
Okay.
And all these boxes are sold or in process. But yes, to answer your question, they're all primed, ready for paint. I don't know if we saw one of the Grimaldi hooks that we've got over here.
So what do you have that here for? Like a display for people to come see it, or?
So it was really early in the partnership. They figured out what worked, what didn't work. So this was essentially a demo or a stock order. So this is actually fixed to head over to the Mac store.
Thank you guys so much for having us out here. Truly appreciate the tour. It was super cool to see. Like I was telling him, like, and right when we talk, it's like the train goes by every time. It doesn't. Dang it, David. No, he was telling. I mean, I was telling him how impressive it is, and the whole story from like 10 years from literally startup to now is insane. And I mean, I think any business person, I'm sure you know, is like any business person likes to hear the stories because it's always about the story behind the actual business. And that's why, like he was talking about earlier, like the difference between corporate versus a family-owned business. Hands down, it's always family-owned business first, you know?
Yeah, if we have a decision to make, you really don't have to go far.
Yeah.
It's like we just make it.
For sure.
Things happen a lot faster here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd imagine.
Than at a bigger company. Mm-hmm. Because I just go to the door and say, hey, Rolloff, can we do this?
Right.
Let's do it.
There you go. But yeah, so we'll put your contact information below. That way you guys can reach out to Donald or Susan or whoever else you can get a hold of over here. I'm sure probably whoever would help you out, right?
Yeah, we're all here to help.
Awesome. So
Get you to the right person.
heck yeah, whether you want dumpsters, compactors, watertight equipment, what else am I missing? Front end loaders, obviously that's part of
Bailers,
dumpsters.
yes, roll-offs, hoists.
Trailer boxes,
We'll help with anything.
whatever, right? Whatever
Yeah.
it is. All right.
Just call
Sounds
us.
good. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you so
Awesome,
much for
awesome.
coming out.
Thanks again, man.
We really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Cool. We out.